Alright guys, welcome back to the next Pokemon Go video on the channel. So what I'm going to do in this video might be a short one. I'm going to go over what's happened in December, what's happened in the Season of Mythical Wishes, the pay times research. I did put a video up of my progress through it all about a few days ago. Then we're going to look at what's coming up next for Pokemon Go, what's happening in the new year, what's currently ongoing, and then what I'm going to be doing for a certain event coming in February, which I talk about a lot. So, the first event was the Winter Holiday Part 1. Now, I buy all the paid time research, not only for content, but just because I like to do it. However, from a content point of view for users, wasn't that great. If I was a player who didn't spend money on the game, and then I bought that for one of my only things I buy, I would have rather bought raid passes, because there was a lot more content on raids than there was on what was out in the wild. So we did have a fighting day. It was about a week actually, not a day. Just for, there was loads of Hitmon tops out, Hitmon chans. I have done quite a bit. This is obviously before the comm days as well. This is when Terrakion was out. I didn't catch anything great, if I'm really honest. There was just nothing really around. I was in Aberdeen at the time. But I did get the Keldeo. Now that was the only thing in that pack that was worth getting it for. But a lot of people I know only got a 2-star. And then you had to make sure you TM Sacred Sword before that becomes a legacy move. But yeah, so from a content point of view there, wasn't great. Moving on into the comm day, which was the overall comm day for 2022. Now that was a really good event. I didn't get that many shinies. I did want another Dino, which I did get. I got a good Gibble as well, which I evolved into a Garchomp, or I might have already had it. So that was a good event. Now the £1 ticket for that was definitely worth it. You got Pokemon from all throughout the year, plus the year of 2021 as well. So you had you could have got a Gibble shiny, and they were all comm day shiny rates. So they were really good. That was a really good event that happened. It was a cheap ticket, but you got a lot of content from it, especially if you're a newer player. You could have got all the Pokemon you were missing. Then after that, we did move into this season, like this Christmas time period for the game. Now, for me, the spawns are a bit lackluster until the most recent ones. So I catch all the Swinubs anyway, just because I have 5 Swinubs I want to get to max, so I need all the XL candy I can. I do like the fact there's another Pikachu. One of my favourite Pokemon is Pikachu, so the more costume Pokemon we get for that is the better for me. Glalie raids 4 megas. Now, I did do enough to mega evolve these 2, and then also one that I'm going to do every day. I haven't been doing it as much. I've missed a few days because I've gone back to work and things, but I am going to get back onto it. But I don't even think I got that good of a Glalie. That one I already had, if I remember rightly. Oh no, I did get that one in a raid. Fair enough. But yeah, these ones here are ones I already had. The Mega itself isn't that useful. It's only useful for being one of the only Ice-type Megas on the game. You've got a Bomber Snow, which, if you missed, it's not really that big of a thing to have missed, because Ice and Grass, they don't usually come out together. So you're okay from a encounter point of view. As you see, you probably just saw a few bits. I'll go over them in a sec. But with the Pikachu, the most recent part of this winter holiday, came these costume EVs that can evolve into each one of the evolutions. Now, I need to do each one anyway to get to level 42. So for me, having all these into a certain EV evolution is really good. So definitely get yourself at least 8 of them. Potentially more, just in case a new evolution does come out that they add to this game. Snow Run, I mean, if you don't have a good Glalie and you find one in the wild, always good to have. I have hatched a few things like a Jangmo. But yeah, so the event itself hasn't been that great for IV wise, I don't think, for me anyway. I don't think I've got any more 4 stars. No. And only a few good 3 stars, like we got the Glalie. Did hatch a shiny Pichu, so I'm really happy with that. But the main things I was going for, especially in the comm day, was Dinos. But then we get onto the new stuff they brought out recently, which is, it's not the best Pokemon, but from a collection point of view, it's really interesting. So, to get a Pavilion, you need to send gifts or receive gifts, and when you get the postcard, tag it to your postcard book. And then once you reach a certain part for a certain continent or area on the map, you will get a specific evolution. So this one, that is the Garden Meadow one. So it's a green. But if we go Pavilion, I don't think I've got one. No. Can't remember what it's called, but it's not that far away down here. We've literally just seen it and I've just gone past it. So we have the Polar Meadow one as well, which is kind of like an ice pattern. And then we've got the Continental, which is like a yellow. So to get all them as a collection would be really, really hard to get. There's some that are just stupidly ridiculous hard to get. So I am trying to make my way through them as well. Like I said, it's not a good Pokemon, but it's nice from a collection point of view. Especially if you like the living decks. So I don't know what's happening with my phone there, it just keeps going to the Mega side. But the more recent stuff, Kyurem. Now, I raided for this when it first came out last Christmas, I think it was. And I was lucky enough to get a shiny. So this year, this Christmas, when it's finally back out, which is currently now, I'm just going for a good one with Glaciate because there's not that many good ice types. And I think it sits in between Shadow Mamoswine and Mega Bombersnow, is it? Or Mamoswine? It's in the middle anyway. So having a good Kyurem like raid set would be really decent because it is better than Mamoswines. So I would like to get a few of them with Glaciate. I have looked at trying to TM Glaciate onto the ones that don't have it from a previous event, and it doesn't look like you can get it. I have tried multiple times and just doesn't work out. There's me shiny. It's not that great if I remember rightly. Yeah. But all this is leading up to what I think is going to happen next year. So let's go over the comm day stuff first. Let's not go too much into it. So the community day for January is Chespin, which is really good because they're finally on a new set of Pokemon, a new set of starters to get shinies, which is really good. Chespin's not that viable in meta, in like the PvP side of things, I don't think. But maybe Frenzy Plant will add to that and make it a lot easier. However, we do get the normal things from a comm day, so you get 2 times catch candy, 2 times XL candy, quarter egg hatch distance, 3-hour lore modules and incense, an extra special trade, plus when you trade it's 50% less Stardust. So just the normal things from a comm day, and you also get the Quilladin raid events after 5 PM. So if you didn't get a chance to get one, you can get one then. I have actually missed out a raid thing, but we'll go back over to that in a second. But like I said, leading on to next year, we have the Hoenn event, which is coming out for Primals. So you got the Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. Now, yeah, if I'm looking for the game itself on a Kyogre, they are already a really good Pokemon to have. So I don't think they're going to be a Mega Evolution or a new form. I think they're just going to be a new Pokemon. Might be wrong, and it might come out like Mega and you just have to get Primal Energy, that kind of thing. But I can see it being a brand new Pokemon, which leads me into what I think is going to happen next year, which is the fusion of Kyurem and Reshiram. So this is the second time we've seen Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem all come back to the game. Like, when with their shinies available, the next step will be getting their fusions. And I think they will be second, like an individual Pokemon as well, because I don't get how they're going to fuse a Reshiram and a Kyurem together in game. Because it's not going to be just where you can have them in battles, they're just going to be out in the wild. So I do think these new evolutions, if you want to call them, for Pokemon that are already out, will be a new Pokemon entirely. Hopefully they'll use the same candy, so you can still use Kyurem candy on the Fire Kyurem or the Thunder Kyurem. Same thing with Kyogre and Groudon. But I think they'll be brand new Pokemon. They will not go on to previous Pokemon. Just like I can't give Glaciate to an older one without an Elite TM. But as you can see, I have a shiny Kyogre and I have lots of Kyogres in the waiting. So it's going to be a really good event. I will be doing a video on them when it becomes more available, more info. So the event that I did miss, this is just an add-on to the end, was the Hisuian Avalugg event. The Pokemon isn't valid, but if you are a collector like me and you wanted the shiny, it was the best day to get one because they had boost shiny odds. Hopefully you all got one. I did get a pretty decent one, so it's not too bad. I did only do 6 raids, just because you got 5 free passes. I had one already before it, so I could get one after it as well. So I could do 6. So a really good day, really. We did get a good one in the 1967. Quite close. Would have preferred 100%, but not that fussed, to be honest. Anyway, guys, that is where I'm going to leave this video. So the next events coming up, obviously, will be Chespin Community Day, which I will be going over in a separate video for the stuff I catch. If I get a good one, if I get a Shundo, anything like that. If not, my next one will be looking at more information for the Hoenn event, what we can do to increase your odds of getting XL candy, best things to do on the day, going out to places where there's more people. But yeah, we'll go over that in another video. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. It's been a great year. Hope you all had a good Christmas. And yeah, here's to 2023 on the channel, and let's keep going. See you guys in a bit.